So a fruit in which you find sepals are attached to the stalk. That means this is a superior ovary. Now let's take another example. You all would have seen the long gourd or ghiya. Otherwise, let's take easier example, the banana. In banana, you will find sepals are attached here and the fruit would be like this. Now in this case, what you find is sepals are farther from the pedicel. So whenever the ovary is closer to the pedicel, you will call them as inferior ovary, and whenever the ovary is farther to the pedicel, you will call them as superior. So by looking at a fruit, you can easily make out whether the flower was superior type or inferior type. So you can say banana develops from which type of flower? Banana develops from epigynous flower, because the ovary is inferior in the case of epigynous. And when we talk about brinjal, in the case of brinjal, you will find the arrangement is like this. So brinjal develops from hypogynous flower because this ovary is superior in the case of brinjals. Tomatoes also will be in the same category. If you talk about orange, will be in the same category. Guava would be in this category. So by looking at the sepal, even the pomegranate, you would have seen pomegranate also. So these are sepals. So whenever sepals are farther from the, or you can say whenever the leftover portion of the flowers are farther from the, even in the case of apple, you would have seen there is a small depression here which carries stamens here. So this shows that the ovary is closer. Whenever ovary is closer, that means the ovary is going to be inferior. Inferior ovary means epigynous type of flower. I hope this point is clear to you. So this is how, according to the insertion, flowers are classified into hypogynous, perigynous and epigynous. Now the next thing to understand is the floral phyllotaxy. Now we have already done the leaf phyllotaxy. You remember that there are alternate, there are opposite type, there are opposite will again have two types. The two types were decussate and superposed, and even whorled type is possible. If only one leaf is present at one node, it is called as alternate or spiral type. If the two are present together at the one node, they are called as opposite type. And then if there are more than two, it is called as whorl type. In the same manner, because we have already learned that the sepals, petals, all of these structures are modified leaves. So because they are modified leaves, they also will have, and they are attached at the nodes. That's why these leaves attached at node will definitely have a phyllotaxy, and that phyllotaxy is called as floral phyllotaxy. So the floral phyllotaxy of the flowers would be of three basic types, and these are acyclic type, which is also called as spiral type, otherwise the cyclic type, and the spirocyclic means mixture of both of them. So the floral organs means the sepals, petals basically are arranged on the thalamus, and this arrangement on the thalamus is called as the floral phyllotaxy. So the floral phyllotaxy can be acyclic or spiral form. Spiral form means the petals and sepals are arranged in a spiral manner, or you can say helical manner. So a helix is formed, and because they are arranged in the helical manner, you can easily see a spiral type of spring type of structure moving up, and this is very common in magnolia, is very common in the water lilies also. So when you have lily, if you have seen the water lilies or lotus also, you will find this type of floral phyllotaxy is present there. Now what happened in the case of cyclic manner? When the floral organs are arranged at the nodes in the cyclic manner. Cyclic here stands for whorls. So there will be whorl, like one node will have one circle, next node will have next circle. Then it will not be like a spiral, it will be like circles. That's why it is called as cyclic. Easiest example, maximum plants will come into this category. Example is petunia. Petunia belongs to Solanaceae family. Water lily belongs to Lymphaceae family. Then the third category is spirocyclic form. In the spirocyclic form, some organs are arranged in the spiral manner and the other organs are arranged in the whorls. So it is a mixture of both. That's why it is called as spirocyclic type or hemicyclic type. Example, buttercup. Buttercup comes into the family of Ranunculaceae. So in Ranunculaceae family, you will find spirocyclic. In Solanaceae and many other families also you will find cyclic. And in the case of Nymphaeaceae family, you will find Nymphea is the scientific name of the water lilies. So in these families you will find such type of the floral phyllotaxy. Now the next thing to understand is there are flowers in which you will find the appendages can be of the same number or multiples of same number, or they could be different in number. So accordingly flowers can be called as isomeric flowers, or they can be called as the anisomeric flowers. So what is isomery? It is something like if every portion is present 3 times. Example, sepals are 3, petals are 3, stamens are 3, then you will call such a flower as the isomeric form. But sometimes what happen, sepals are 3 in number, petals are also 3 in number, but the stamens sometimes become 4 in number. So such a phenomenon would be called as anisomery, and such flowers would be called as anisomeric flowers. So isomery is the number of floral appendage in different floral whorls. Different floral whorls means sepals, petals, stamens and the pistil. So they can be same means like 3 or multiples of 3. For example, it can be 3, then 3 plus 3. So 3 plus 3 means multiples, it will be 6 in number. So it can be 3 or it can be multiples of 3. I will explain this when we will do Liliaceae family, that what exactly is multiple here. So it can be same or it can be different. If they are same, it is called isomeric flowers. If they are different, they are called as anisomeric flowers.